Welcome to the GammaCast, a segment where we go over rewards and results from your character's actions, if any. Spoilers ahead. Also, you may want to get a notebook out and something to write with. Let's begin. Episode 4, Torn City. We witness Virus Baseborn and Looper Kin take on the Caretakers with some help from Seth Harrow. We also witness Kato V kill Advocate, or himself. Looper's goal was to protect the innocent, caught in the chaos of the war, even though you were off duty. And ally yourself with whoever assists. You're a pretty simple guy. And you were successful. Rewards are as follows. You go from average to above average rank. You are also now fully aware of the Civil War and the cultist attack on the city. And being the constable that you are, you also found a lead on the Caretakers, an evil faction that is toxic to your home district. Virus Baseborn's goal was to use the chaos to further his own agenda. That agenda being to crash the site of a crime family to further his game and mission to take out the Caretakers. You were successful. Rewards are as follows. You go from average rank to above average. You slowed the Caretakers down and you found the lead on 2 big Caretaker crime lords. They are the key. Looper has another major part of that pie. Keep that in mind. Also, you amass a load of money. This justifies a big purchase of anything that you want. Sector 12 has a lot of good black market stuff for sale. And people too. Keep that in mind. Seth Harrow's goal was to provide assistance to any players who showed up while not interfering too much and just observing their capabilities. And you were successful. Rewards are as follows. You go from above average to high. You now have Looper Kin and Virus Baseborn's data. This can mean whatever you want it to mean in the realm of preparedness and information. Advocate's goal was to continue his staged coup against himself by using Kato V, a replication of himself, in order to bring chaos into Haven for the Survey Day, as well as restore the people's faith in himself using his parasitic influence ability, which allows him to implant false memories into the minds of his targets. In this case, the false memory being that Kato V's name is Advocate. He was also successful and goes from high to exceptional. Also, as a result of your actions, you shed his evil stigma and are now viewed as a beacon of hope for Haven, just like Tempest. You can now assist the Survey Day in covering up their experiments and eating of Haveners underground. Now for some meta notes. Note 1. Looper Kin specifically stated he had a stun baton in his car, but I was so enthralled by his character's durability that I forgot and had him smash his target's leg in the car door repeatedly instead. I'm sorry. I apologize ahead of time to each of you if I forget some things. Note 2. Virus Baseborn specifically stated to not fully trust anyone assisting him and to be cautious. This contributed to his lack of talk, which made it difficult to solidify an alliance with Looper after the fight, which is what Looper wanted. Good start though. Moving on. Episode 5, The Ikermancer. We witnessed Six and Ivan attack the cultist and attempt to steal the Ikermancer, but were outmatched when K. McVeigh joined the fray. I'm sorry, I couldn't resist. Six's goal was to kill all cultists and provide support from afar. This was unsuccessful. K. McVeigh deterred you from doing so. You go down from high to above average. You also must spend majority of your story phase escaping the clutches of the Survey Day. You also lose the King of Ghosts, aka the Dread King, as an ally, because you killed him. Ivan's goal was to go straight for the Ikermancer and use it to empower himself and attack the cultists. You were unsuccessful. Rifmusin deterred you from this. You go from above average down to average. You also lose majority of your undead ninja army and are left with only a handful left. Left handful, left handful left. K. McVeigh's goal was to sell out whoever was the least powerful and join with the most powerful. He was successful. I allowed this because K has history with the cult and should be able to identify the cult general Rifmusin and know what he's capable of. And in addition to that, he doesn't really know Six or Ivan. Rewards are as follows. You go from average to above average. You gain a position as Rifmusin's special guard, and you receive Rifmusin's guard robes, granting you the keyword Takena. Now, for those who are new and have not had a chance to view the previous GammaCasts, a keyword is a special word or a combination of words that you can attach to one of your three abilities. And what this does is it expands what you're capable of doing with that ability. So if you have a keyword attached to something, it makes you able to justify doing more with that ability. And the keywords are very vague on purpose because it allows you to kind of be creative and come up with an interpretation of what your ability is now going to be like with that keyword attached. So, you gain the keyword Takena. Takena is a dark magic powered by soul energy. Attach it to any of your three abilities and think of a cool way to mix it in. Let me know what you come up with by writing it in the details section of your next submission, or shoot me a message on Discord. Moving on. Meta notes. Note 1. When rolling Six and Ivan against the event, the dice results were essentially critical fails, hence the outcome, and is truly why K. McVeigh knew that they weren't ready for Rifmusin and had him rekindle with the Survey Day. Note 2. I spent 30 minutes looking for a suitable Pioneer's Whip sound effect. I hope those were good enough for you. Note 3. I have to make a correction. It wasn't an undead Mahjong helping Pargaigus and Ivan cut down the tentacles, because if you remember, the Bronze Samurai Mahjong his whole body was destroyed in a compactor that Ryan Zaidi pulled out on him in the vehicle before he doppelganged into him, and therefore leaving no body to fill with a soul. So therefore Ivan wouldn't have had Mahjong. So it was just a normal undead clansman that helped Pargaigus chop down the Takena tentacles. Moving on. Episode 6, Survey Day Uprising. We witness Anarchy 12 and Fire join the Survey Day. Anarchy 12, specifically, is given a leadership role within their ranks, and is given his first task to defend the focal point of the ritual, along with Fire, against Hope agents. Anarchy's goal was to ally himself with the Survey Day and defend them against anyone who opposes. You were successful. Rewards are as follows. You go from high rank to exceptional rank. You gain command over all of the Survey Day cultists and are now peers with the Survey Day generals and have been promised dominion in the next life. The Green Gods didn't elaborate on what that means, but it will make sense soon. This is the ultimate reward. In addition, you receive a special lesson in Ultimate Takena, giving you the keyword Master Tentacle. Fire's goal was to allow himself to succumb to the abomination's will, thus joining with the Survey Day and anyone who is also joining with them, and destroy anyone who opposes. You were successful. Rewards are as follows. You go from average rank to above average rank. The Survey Day perform experiments on you to see why the birth of the third ritual G-type failed. In their findings, they discover it has to do with Rose Excalibur's aura, and so they take her and bring her to you for more testing. She is safe and sound in your quarters in an undisclosed Survey Day base. They too offer you the ultimate reward with promise of dominion and the next life. Meta notes. Note 1. The Green God race name are the Unknown. This is because I misspelled unknown on the Meanwhile segment titled Anarchy and Tempest Unravel the Unknown, and I'm running with that shit, damn it. Note 2. Anarchy 12's technology surpasses the Green Gods. This is a fact. Just putting that out there. Kanye West would agree. Note 3. This event was a good example of choosing your events wisely, knowing the other players' motives, and anticipating their actions. There's a deep strategy layer here in this game, and eventually players will get the hang of it. It's essentially role-playing chess, right? I mean, could you imagine a new player taking that mission and end up having to go against Anarchy and Fire? It's just not a good look. But also on the flip side of that, because it's all, not all of it, but there's a lot of dice rolls, and you could win in that scenario. I mean, like I said, I really rolled bad. It was really, really bad when I rolled for Six and Ivan. It could be just as good for someone, in that scenario. So just keep that in mind. Moving on. Episode 7. Gay Crasher. We witness Tempest, Makai, and R-Type X defend against the Survey Day, the Ritual G-Types, and some androids. We also witness a turn of events resulting in Gamma Haven's first character death. Tempest's goal was to support R-Type X with time manipulation, having Judge protect the center while he does it, and if necessary, resort to using the Amplify serum created by Gate scientists. He was successful. Rewards are as follows. Tempest, you go from above average to high. Congratulations. In conjunction with the Old Advocate, aka Addison O's demise, the televised assault of the Gate Center and your victory has restored complete faith in the city, further solidifying the Gate Center as the pinnacle of hope. The press is calling the Gate Center the final defense against enemies of Haven. Tempest, you gain the keyword willpower, referencing the amount of faith Haven has in you in the Gate Center. Attach this to one of your 3 abilities. Also, you used Amplify, and as a result, as the wiki states, you will need to state somewhere in your story phase that you are weakened and resting. R-Type X's goal was to defend the Gate Center, and even if Makai assists, attack him. In addition, he wanted any loot from the enemies and knowledge that they had, if any. R-Type X was successful in both objectives. Rewards are as follows. R-Type X goes from incredible rank to superhuman rank, which is the highest rank. R-Type X also has access to Makai's corpse and remnants of his inner Jirai suit. Do what you will with that. With use of R-Type X's Libra and energy affinity, R-Type X learns and senses that great power was flowing into the ritual G-types from the Emerald. In turn, R-Type X has knowledge that the main ritual Emerald, protected by fire and anarchy, is a great source of power. R-Type X also uncovers a strange black organ left over from the gray G-type, aka the Lord of Darkness. Anyone with the capability to study something like this will need to be used to uncover its use. Makai Fenoichi's goal. Makai's goal was to help Tempest and R-Type X defend the Gate Center, man. Assisted by his clanmates, and also get the finishing blow on one of the G-types. Makai was successful in this regard. However, due to R-Type's "what if someone interferes" action, sorry, I had to pit Makai against R-Type X. To which Makai was unsuccessful, resulting in the death of Makai, as R-Type's base rank was 3 ranks higher than his own. I want to add that in Makai's submission for what he wished to gain from this objective was, and I quote, "I want to make a stronger bond with Tempest and create a bond with R-Type X." With that said, know your allies. More importantly, make sure you're allies. Sorry. If you aren't using Discord to communicate with them, then utilize the story phase to express your interest in forming alliances. Hell, send flowers on your story phase to someone if you have to. Meta notes. Note 1. During the creation of this episode, upon learning that R-Type X was going to attack Makai, I asked the player if he was sure many times, and R-Type X was very confident. However, what the player of R-Type X was forgetting was that Makai Fenoichi has the Energize suit that he created somewhere near the end of the prequel, I think, and it absorbs energy. So as R-Type X is telling me this and sounding so confident, I'm like, dude, you're forgetting something. But as director, I did not remind him of this because it's up to the players to be well versed in what happens in the episodes and study the wiki. I knew deep in my soul that this was going to be an epic episode because of this. However, when it came down to it, I gave Makai a big boost as he was fighting someone who utilizes energy-based attacks. So much so that the rank matchup almost became a tie. R-Type edged him by 1 rank. It was important for me to remain true to R-Type's submission by making it look easy, hence the outcome. However, it really wasn't. It really wasn't. It was really close. The good thing is the player of Makai Fenoichi is a great sport. He loves the game, and he's okay with everything that happened. We had a conversation, and he's already working on his new character. Note 2, and something really interesting, and it makes me look forward to what happens next. If you're following the story, you will know that Makai and Tempest are practically brothers-in-law. Both are parents of the adopted G-born sisters, Amelia and Serenity. In no way would Tempest have let R-Type do that. He would not have let that whole thing occur. But thanks to him using the Amplify Serum, this allowed me to justify his ass going unconscious so I could make it happen. Night night. Note 3. Speaking of Amplify, both Tempest and Makai specified that they wanted to take out one of the G-types. This resulted in their ultimate team tech, which has an official name that will be revealed in an upcoming lore building video. If you haven't submitted a name for what that team tech, when I say tech, I mean like technical skill. I'm a Chrono Trigger and Chrono Cross fan, but if you want to submit a name for what that move should be called, go ahead to that episode and in one of the lore contests, come up with a cool name for that combo. Note 4. Speaking of lore building, Judge Benedict's Demon Hound form, as well as the Grey G-type, also known as Lord of Darkness, they are both results of lore building contests. Look, I value everyone's input and creativity, so even if you don't have a character and are playing the game, you can start building with us. Just at the end of every video, in the comment section, there's a lore contest. where we try to, build the world one comment at a time. And the last note, the students who stepped up and neutralized the Demon Hound Judge were only able to do so because Tempest spent a story phase training and teaching them. I try my best to honor your role playing, and as you can see, it helps. In Tempest's story phase, he specifically stated that he wants to spend some time lecturing and teaching them ways to utilize their powers and even some skills that have nothing to do with their mutations. So, I really analyze what you're submitting, and again, I value your creativity. That concludes the GammaCast. Stay tuned for some lore building videos and Patreon character videos dedicated to patrons who are on the main character tier. Oh, and one more thing. The story phase is now open. Head to the website and submit your actions. This is going to be a great next episode with all these new characters. And welcome all of you. You guys have some really, really dope ass characters. There's this one old lady. And then there's this dude named Poke or Pokey. He jumps between planes and shit. Yo, this shit's gonna be fire. Yo, and get this. I think his name is Pokey, but he has a bubble, and he's in his bubble, he's in a ball, and his name is Pokey, and he's kind of like Mew the way he describes himself. He's literally like the Mew of Gamma Haven. I can't make this up. You look at everybody's powers and you're like, man, these dudes are overpowered. Look, I need characters from all walks of life, and I'm going to build stories around all of you. Everything doesn't have to be so over the top. If I would fucking love to have characters that are just, like Gamma Haven Seinfeld and fucking Smavens. Thanks for watching Peoplz and Dragons, the interactive RPG game show. I encourage everyone to jump into our comment section to participate in the lore contests, as well as visit our Patreon page to learn what perks come with your support for our machine. Peace.